All right, today we are talking about lesson 2.1, solving linear equations and inequalities. Our learning target is that I can solve linear equations using a variety of methods. So our first vocab word is equation. An equation is a mathematical statement that two expressions are equivalent. The solution set of an equation is the value or values of the variable that make the equation true. Solving a linear equation requires isolating the variable on one side of the equation. To isolate the variable, perform the inverse or opposite of every operation in the equation on both sides of the equation. Do inverse operations in the reverse order of the order of operations. So you can think of this like PEMDAS, but backwards. All right, so number one, the first thing we're going to want to do is distribute this -3. All right, so the left side stays 47 plus x equals -3x minus 27. All right, now we can get all of the x's on the same side. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides. That gives me 47 plus 4x equals -27. All right, from here, we are going to subtract 47 from both sides, giving me 4x equals -74. So now that we've got all the x's on the same side alone, we just want to get one x by itself. So we can divide by 4 on both sides. Our final answer, x equals -18.5. All right, let's try number 2. Right off the bat, I can see on the right side I have a 3x plus 5x. So those I can combine into one. So I have 4x plus 18 plus 42 equals 8x. All right, I like to get all the x's on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So I have 18 plus 42 equals 4x. All right, now I can combine the numbers on the left side. 18 plus 42 gives me 60 equals 4x. And now that all the x's are on the same side, we can get one by itself. So instead of multiplying by 4, we are doing the inverse and dividing by 4 to give us an answer of x equals 15. All right, and remember, if at any point you need to stop the video, feel free. On number 3, I'm going to distribute twice. First, I will distribute this negative. That gets me 4x minus 2x plus 1. But I'm also going to distribute the 2 on the right side. So that equals 2x minus 6. Okay, so now I can combine 4x minus 2x. Gets me 2x plus 1 equals 2x minus 6. Now some of you might be able to stop here. You notice on the left side we have a 2x and the right side we have a 2x. So we know those are equal. But on the left side we're adding 1 and the right side we're subtracting 6. So they're never going to equal the same thing. So we would say no solution. If we wanted to keep solving, I could subtract 1 from both sides. So that leaves me with 2x equals 2x minus 7. And if I want to get the x's on the same side, subtract 2x. That leaves me 0 on the left side equals -7. That's not true, so that's why we say no solution. All right, let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 is a little different. We have 2 fractions on both sides. So if you have a fraction equaling a fraction, or a proportion, you can cross multiply. But be careful, the groupings on top, like the x plus 1 and the 2x minus 1, need to stay together. So the first thing that we're going to multiply is the top left with the bottom right. So I have 12 times x plus 1 equals, and on the other side, we have the 9 and the 2x minus 1. So this equals 9 times 2x minus 1. All right, now I am going to distribute both sides. So 12x plus 12 equals 18x minus 1. I'm sorry, minus 9. All right, now, I don't know about you, but I like having positive x values. So I'm going to subtract the smaller one. So I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides, which leaves me with 12 equals a positive 6x minus 9 on the right side. So if we want to get that 6x by itself, we need to get rid of that minus 9. So I will add 9 to both sides, leaving me with 21 equals 6x. Last step is to get the x by itself, so divide by 6 on both sides, leaving us with an answer of x equals 3.5. All right, moving on to number 5. I'm going to start by just distributing. So I have x plus 12 minus 3x equals negative 2x plus 12, because negative 2 times negative 6 is positive. Now I could combine this x and this minus 3x. That gives me negative 2x plus 12. That equals negative 2x plus 12. So you could stop here and notice the left side is identical to the right side. So no matter what value we plug in for x, they're always going to be equal. So we could say all real numbers and be done. If you didn't catch that, let's just keep solving it. If I subtract 12 from both sides, I get negative 2x equals negative 2x. Those are identical. Again, no matter what we plug in, it'll be the same. But lastly, if we divide by negative 2, we get x equals x, and we know that that is always true. So all real numbers again for this one. All right, number 6 deals with some fractions, but it's 3/4 and 1/2. So those aren't too bad. I know that I can turn 1/2 into quarters. So I could say 3/4 x plus 4 equals 2/4 x minus 10. 2/4 is the same as 1/2. All right, so if I want to get the x's on the same side, I'm going to subtract 2/4 x, which leaves me 3/4 minus 2/4 is 1/4 x plus 4 equals negative 10. I can subtract 4 from both sides, get that fraction by itself, leaving me with 1/4 x equals negative 14. Now the 1/4 times x, you can think of x over 4. So the opposite of dividing would be to divide by 4, because 4 times 1/4 cancels out. Multiply by 4 on the right side, and we get our final answer of x equals negative 56. All right, number 7 is a word problem. We see the bill for the repair of your car was $365. So the total cost was $365. Now we can figure out what made up that $365. We see we have the cost for parts was $215. All right, so that's never going to change. So we are going to have 365 equals 215 plus something else. Now that plus something else is talking about how the cost of labor is 50 cents per minute. All right, so be careful with that. So 0.5 x, where x is the number of minutes. All right, so now we can just solve this for x, which will tell us how many minutes they worked. So first we want to get that 0.5x by itself. So I will subtract 215 from both sides, leaving me with 150 equals 0.5x. Now to get x by itself, we divide by 0.5, which is the same as multiplying by 2. So x equals 300 minutes. But the question asks us for the amount of hours. So I need to do 300 minutes divided by 60 minutes per hour gives me 5 hours. All right, number 8, we have a triangle. If you remember from geometry, all of the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So something is going to equal 180. Now we have 8x minus 1 is one angle, plus 3x plus 4, plus 3x plus 9. All right, sorry that it's a little small, but now let's look at what we can combine. I see an 8x, a 3x, and a 3x. All right, if we add those up, we get 14x. And now let's look at numerical parts. We have minus 1, plus 4, plus 9. So if we add those up, we get 12. So 14x plus 12 equals 180. All right, so to get that 14x alone, I'll subtract 12 from both sides, leaving me with 14x equals 168. Last step to get x by itself, divide by 14 on both sides. So we get that x equals 12.